Hello there, audience, and welcome to the first episode of a new series we're going to be doing here on the Deppy Films called Acting of an Amateur. So, this series is an interesting one because it is definitely one it's one I feel like doing, and it goes a little back because the talk about like, oh, we do stuff on Depp Films together, especially very film oriented on the channel. The joke of Emilio having a show which is his war movie reviews, and then all of us kind of maybe doing like a show type thing where we talk, deal of things we like and are passionate about, and the kind of ongoing junk of me not having one has kind of been a thing here. And maybe this could be potentially that, I think. So what Acting of an Amateur is meant to be is I'm an amateur actor, or maybe petty dabbler, we could discuss. And the kind of point of it is that I want to just talk about a little bit my experiences in acting, what that has been like for me, and if anyone out there is interested in trying to do acting, what small amount of tips I could maybe offer. And again, by no means am I anyone that you should ever listen to about any of this. There's a reason it's called amateur in the title. Like, I am no, I know who I am and what is up. Like, let's not misunderstand the situation here. I am no authority on acting, but someone that has been doing it for a while now and enjoys it quite a bit, and I think I've picked up enough to be able to point some pointers, give some tips, give some tricks, give some styles, all that jazz. So this is kind of the introduction video to kind of let you know what to prepare for, and that will mean me reacting to, I'm thinking I'd like to do like acting from movies and look at a scene and be like, oh, this is why I like this scene in acting, and this is why it's good, or this is why I think it's bad, and may it be a scene or such that I chose, or we here at the Depp Films chose, or someone in the comments that was like, hey, check out this scene from this movie, and I would gladly react to it and be like, alright, this is great because of this, or oh, I think this is bad because of this, or this could have been better because of this. And I think that's kind of what I like to do with the show, including having guests over, other people that have acted and such, and ask them about their experiences, how they like it, etc., etc. React on my own acting and what I've done, and point out things that I think are good or things that are bad. And I'm going to be completely brutal with myself, or completely honest and be like, no, I generally thought that was good, or be like, no, that was complete garbage. I could have done this so much better, or I should not have attempted this whatsoever. And I think this first episode will just kind of be, obviously the introduction. And I guess I'll just talk a little bit about me doing acting to begin with, how that kind of happened. Hence why this is called The Beginning. But we've adjusted. It's so good. It's the first episode. Don't worry about it. So let's see. I didn't really do like... I've never been trained or done any sort of like acting training. The kind of first time I can really remember acting... of course, everyone does like school plays, or most people do school play stuff. I think my mom told me when I was like quite a bit younger, we were doing some play. I must have been, I don't remember in which country. I'm not completely sure, but I was doing some sort of stage. I don't know. I'm sure it was like the Leith or something, like it was the Bush or something. I'm sure it wasn't even anything important. But I started getting like a runny nose, and I was just like in the middle of the stage, like we're all on stage, and then the audience is your parents and stuff, and I'm just like, Mom, runny nose. So she has to climb up on stage and like clean that off my face, and she's like, all right, you guys can keep on going. So, the Bush, he had to make sure he was at peak performance or whatever I played on. I don't remember. The one vivid memory of like any sort of kind of acting I have is when I lived in France. So I have no idea of a name of a play or what this is, or it's short story, whatever this is. The premise is that it's about these two spies. So these two spies are trying to like figure out this like mystery about whatever is happening, and I think one of them was called like Bob. Like, great name. Like, it's what I remember. I'm not even sure if, that's actually what it's supposed to be called, or maybe that's not even what it was actually called when I did it. That name is stuck in my head that's connected to this. And the whole class is going to be part of it. So how do you do a play all about two characters? Well, easy. You divide the class in two groups, and group A will be Bob, group B will be Ted. And basically, the dialogues, that we would just, everyone would get a line. So we're all technically like two groups of spies, more than just two spies or whatever, talking to each other and like trying to figure out the mystery here, or whatever. you know, we're all, you know, so that was kind of like the idea. So it sounds a little like stretched out, and you feel like they could have found a better play or story to do than this one, and I completely agree. Um, but it was nice enough. Like it was like, oh, everyone will have like a black T-shirt, you know, whatever, jeans, and you know, come to, you know, do your lines and all that stuff. And it was easy, right? Like I'd have maybe 5 lines, right? Because there's so many people. You know, you're dividing this class of like what 30 kids or whatever, so you have like 15 kids on each side, and we're all gonna like say, you know, 3-5 lines of this monologue basically of each character. Discussion. Monologue is the wrong word here. Or if there is a monologue, then obviously someone would step in and continue where the other person left off, like haha, you know, and so forth. And that was like the most vivid memory I have of any sort of like level of acting. And you know, I remember going to the practice area. It was like in a park. I feel like I remember going to acting side, which is the reason I say that is because it was a park I lived close by to. It was a park I really liked, L'Orangerie. I lived in Strasbourg during my time there in France, and I feel like I remember it was like somewhere in within that park. Very big, very nice. Or maybe it was petite, but being a small kid to me, you know, it seemed huge. I don't really remember how old I was. Maybe 7, something like that, or somewhere around there. Anyway, the day comes to actually do the show, right? And I'm just me. I did my lines. Boom, next person. Show goes on. We all do the motions of, you know, whatever we're doing, like spying or like whatever. And you know, I just do my lines. Everyone does their thing. Boom, we finish, and the whole point of the thing is about the end, like we all like pull out our guns, like bang bang, all right, we all killed each other, like it was like, oh no, like, you know, the spies and whatever. So, you know, it's like but it was comical, like it was obviously a comedy. It was funny, you know, it was because kids are doing it and whatever. So it was like a serious gritty drama, like we were making James Bond. We were making like, it was a, you know, for all I know that could have just been written by our teachers. So this could, you know, there's a reason maybe I've never, you know, I actually looked into this. Maybe it's a real thing. Anyway, we did the show. It's all done, and of course, you know, I had a few friends in my class, whatever. I think like you know, obviously I wasn't friends with everyone. Who is really friends with everyone in the class? If you are, you were a social butterfly. Congratulations. And I technically kind of was when I was a kid. Then teenagers age happened, and then not so much. And a few parents come up to me and say, "Oh wow, David, these are really good," you know, or whatever. And I was thinking to myself, like, I had like 3 lines. Everyone had 3 lines. I don't know why am I being congratulated. They really thought I like, you know. And I was like, I was like, thanks. And I go up to mom. I was like, they really thought I did good. She was like, neat. And I think it was the first time, definitely, that I can, for sure, that I did any sort of level of acting where, like, you know, people are, oh wow, great, you know, you did it, or whatever. You know, most certainly doubt it was as great as it sounds. I have no idea if there's any footage of this out there. I have no clue, or at least I don't think our family has any of it. I mean, there might be. Who knows? Something like old like camera that had like the old like tape recording. What was that called? I think that's enough. So maybe somewhere out there, but who the fuck knows? Then the closest other thing to acting would have been the next thing, which makes sense, right? Which must have been what I can remember, because they could have been another moment or situation. But it was when I went to Romania, and I was definitely like the outsider. I've always been a little bit of the outsider. It makes sense, right? You're the kid that travels. You're coming to a new country. You're not from there. Blah blah blah. You don't exactly fit into the norm. And I remember telling them like, I did miming in France. I had not done miming in France. That was a complete goddamn lie. But I just, like, on the top of my head, just, like, faked the goddamn show about some dude going to the zoo, I guess. Like, just full Mr. Bean, like, ridiculous, like, Charlie Chaplin, whatever hilarity. And I pulled that nonsense. And I got, like, a good response from it. And I was like, oh, well, this is easy. I remember attempting it a second time at some point or whatever, and people were not as impressed. So, who knows, maybe the novelty wore off, or, you know, my creative sparks weren't going. I remember by the end of that year, we were gonna maybe, it was 5th grade, we were gonna maybe do like, everyone's gonna maybe kind of do like a little show and tell type thing for graduation type thing, so in case you wanted to do something, you could. And I was like, I can maybe do the mime thing, and people were like, yeah, cool. Who knows, I might have even done it, but I ended up having like a thing with my nose, like when you have like extra meat growths or whatever, so I had to get surgery done for that. So I was like, I missed graduation that year because I was like sick in bed, throwing up and stuff for like 2 weeks. And not being able to eat because like my throat was irritated, so I didn't go to that. So that was that. Maybe for the best. And then must have been coming to Sweden, meeting Emilio and Pauli, and then starting to do it in front of the camera for the movies we were making, the Star Wars movies or whatever other nonsense, Clank, Minecraft in real life, everything else we've been doing. Then it must have been that, and that was just doing because it was fun. Like, it was playing. You were young enough that, or I was young enough, to my opinion, that for me that was playing. It wasn't, oh, this is serious or whatever. It was fun. Like, it was fun to just do, and it was fun because it felt like I think as a kid I met a lot of people that were very much into like being the ones that control the situation and stuff. Like when we played and did other things, like, so I had to tag along. But this was the opportunity where like I met these two guys that were very open to let me just take the charge, and I never really done that before. So I was excited to do so. So we did like 3 films in 3 days as kids because I was just, I found some people that would let me do whatever I felt like doing for once. And I really appreciated that. And so I went off the rails and was like, oh yeah, let's do it all this. So the acting was definitely like a game, but also like something that was fun. And as time goes on, it became one of those things where it's like, okay, this, it all developed in the whole film thing. And I was like, okay, this is more than just fun. When I started going to high school, we're gonna do Macbeth. Okay, big story, Shakespeare. You know the story. If you don't, okay. We're assigning roles, discussing what people want to do, whatever, blah blah blah. Comes to the thing of acting, and I think to myself, I want to do acting. It's a big responsibility. Got to learn these lines. Gotta, you're gonna do it on stage, all that stuff. And I was like, yeah, no. So I just immediately said, no, none of the acting thing for me. What do you want? Like lighting or soundstage stuff, equipment, boy? Yeah, you got it. I'll do that. To me, it was one of those things where, it was high school years. So like the least I could do to like get on anyone's wrong side or mess up the most I could, the least I could. I mean, if this was the job I could like arguably mess up at and be the least amount of damage that would cost the overall thing, then good. Because in case I do mess it up, then again, it'll be the least amount of damage I could possibly be doing. So I don't even remember what I did. Like, I'm sure I was just like something useless. Just, sit in the crowd and give a thumbs up, or, props, make sure they exist, or something. Lighting, it's something, not even lighting, that's not too advanced. But, nothing important. So that's what I did for that. I've thought about it since in the past, like, would I have wanted to do it if I could have? And honestly, no. I really don't think I would have wanted to do it or can. Maybe now I could, who knows. But I definitely did not want to. And maybe, the whole putting yourself in that situation could have been what you needed to, like, yeah. But I don't know. I just wasn't really into it. It wasn't for me. I wasn't feeling it. And I don't really regret it. I think it was a smart thing to do because I wasn't feeling ready for it, and I probably wasn't ready. Since then yeah, it's just been that films, and it's been the acting we've done here and what we've done. I'm definitely very open to like working on other projects and other people and doing acting, and a lot of the acting I've done has definitely become stuff that either I've written or Pauli or Emilio, and it's definitely acting where I've kind of been entrusted to just do my thing. And as much as that is a very nice, freeing thing, which is what a lot of actors we've met and worked with say they like, I am definitely on the side of I would very much like to do a project where I'm told very much strictly this is what I want from you, and for me to deliver that, because I think that's a very important thing to learn. There's nothing wrong with doing projects and things where you have full freedom of what the character should be and act like, or a very much, well, not full freedom, but you have like a very strong amount of freedom. But I think there's also something to be spoken about the challenge of playing a character that you're asked to play, because you could play the same character in 6 movies, even though it's completely different. even though it's a completely different person and tone, because you're not pushing yourself from your acting standpoint. You're not trying to better yourself because this is the thing you know how to do, and you assume, oh, this is just what acting is. But acting definitely becomes a thing where you realize there's things you could be doing with your face, which, you know, hear me out there. With your hands, the way you look at something, the way you don't look at something, the way you don't react or overreact or underreact to a situation. And those are the kind of things you learn by doing. And obviously having someone that can teach you these kind of things is very important, very nice. I haven't had that. And, you know, I'm definitely considering maybe studying that. But just doing it by practicing and by trying to express yourself with a new character and a new thing and just going completely different from what you've previously done super helps, because well, it brings you to a new area you never thought you could be. And it's nothing wrong with experimentation. But that also means that you shouldn't be rushing into a role or character that you're not comfortable with. Because if you're not ready, then you're just gonna kind of screw yourself up. And I think this is a topic that'll be great for the second episode we ever do with this. And you know, we can tackle later, which is I want to talk about. So you kind of got a little preview there, which we'll be doing with the next episode. But I think this is a pretty good one for the first episode, kind of introduction stage. Invite me back. What do you think? Is this stupid? Is this cool? Is this great? I definitely want to have guests over, talk about people about acting and their scenes they've done, other scenes in the world of film they think are good. And as I said, like I want to react to scenes in movies and my own and other people's, and you know, feel free to put that down there. I'll be completely honest in my opinion. If I think it's shit, I'll tell you it's shit. And not coming from a place of bad or meanness. I think it comes from a place of needing to see that there's room for improvement, coming from someone that knows there's a lot of improvement coming to him, and that he is but an amateur or petty dabbler. Again, up to debate. But thanks for Roland for sticking to a video of just looking at a dude's face as he talks about nonsense for like however long this was. And hopefully you stick around, and I'll see you for the second video, which will be talking about approaching acting and the way to express yourself as an actor, and you know, finding out different ways and methods. I think that'll be a pretty interesting one. But it definitely felt like the first one I had to kind of introduce it and just kind of have a moment of face-to-face together, or face-to-face-ish as much as we can. So thanks for watching me. Bye. This was acting with an amateur. I'm the amateur. Thanks a lot. All right, we get out of here.